With the first rays of the sun, the villages in the remote corners of eastern region of India are waking up to yet another day. Life in this part of the country is quiet and simple, untouched by mindless urbanization. It wasn't, however, this way even a decade ago. As we set out on our journey to witness the changing landscape of some of the most needy districts of Jharkhand and Orissa, we were reminded of the grim past of the region. The majority of the population in the area consists of tribes who for generations have depended on the forests for their sustenance. In the post-independence era, indiscriminate commercialization of the forest resources had eventually brought in definite ecological changes, adversely affecting these tribes. In absence of alternate source of livelihood, the indigenous communities were gradually dispossessed of their homelands and plummeted into a life of deprivation and scarcity.
Morang do bir jabal tahe kana, odi osubdhar le tahe kana, odi rengit itang le tahe kana. Le bidat ko se nalha ko kami ko chala bala kate le asul bala len. Nitma dahi jayga re chet hon bang huyuk kana.
Like in rest of India, there was an urgent need not just to stop the unwarranted forest degradation, but also to integrate the livelihood concerns of the forest dwellers with the conservation measures. After years of efforts, the results are finally becoming visible. Traveling through the remote interiors of Orissa and Jharkhand, we met the non-governmental organizations that are instrumental in bringing people together under a common roof. The organizations have been active in the area of natural resource management and in developing micro-enterprises for years now. As we soon discovered, a number of programs in the region were being carried out with the support of IGSSS, Indo-Global Social Service Society. With a view to reach out to the most marginalized and vulnerable communities of the Indian subcontinent, IGSSS started out as a funding agency in the year 1961. Over the years, it has moved from being a mere funding agency to a development support organization striving to mobilize the communities for a better living. The Eastern Region Office of IGSSS began functioning from 1994 and covers a contiguous belt of tribal and deprived populations running across Chhattisgarh, Bihar, West Bengal and to some extent Sikkim, besides Jharkhand and Orissa. When IGSSS intervened in the region, the increasing level of poverty and food insecurity had called for an integrated approach. The challenge was to enable the tribal communities regain their customary rights over the forests and its produce, and simultaneously to help them develop alternate livelihood means. To achieve its objectives, IGSSS joined hands with organizations at the grassroots level, especially those working for the development of backward and marginalized communities. As our first destination, the journey through the rural landscape of the Katipara block in Mayurbhanj district of Orissa took us to the tranquil foothills of the Similipal Biosphere Reserve, known for its unique ecological diversity and abundance. Having been alienated from their forest base on account of the depleting forest cover and the conservation laws, the tribes in the area had eventually resorted to rain-fed agricultural cultivation. This, however, was not enough of a solution.
Pravai has been there in this area since 92. We have studied and identified two major issues. One is first depletion of forest resource that leads to eco-degradation. Second is livelihood insecurity that forces people to migrate out. Probable solution could be creating alternate livelihood options. We have taken integrated natural resource management as the means. We have taken land, water, forest management clubbed with community sensitization and community institution building.
PRAVA, or Professional Assistance for Voluntary Action, has been working on the varying aspects of sustainable natural resource management for over 1.5 decades now. Quite a reason for IGSSS to acknowledge the organization as its partner in the area. Soon after joining hands in 1998, 12 hamlets spread over 2 revenue villages were identified for implementation of the program. The strategies devised called for a collective effort. Some 500 households from the concerned 12 hamlets were thus motivated to form forest protection committees, self-help groups and farmers' committees.
The main areas of intervention are land and water management, sustainable agriculture, promotion and protection of forests, community institution building, networking with other like-minded groups. To achieve the desired objectives, IGSSS, apart from providing financial assistance, is emphasizing on capacity building of its partner organizations and community-based organizations through different trainings, workshops and exposure programs from time to time.
It didn't take us any effort to realize that the people are finally waking up to their rights over the forests, their homeland. Consequently, over 270 hectares of the denuded land spread across Kaliasol, Nuhumali and Petasel villages has been regenerated.
जे किंतु जंगल सरकार माने तो आमे ता माने कोन जंगल सरकार नुही आमर आमे भाबुची सरकार रे बोली करी जेतु सरकार ता भी आमर तनु जंगल ता आमर
Having ensured an access to the non-timber forest produce besides their daily fuel requirement, the villagers are gradually rediscovering their lost harmony with the forests. As a step further, the practice of interculture was promoted, whereby villagers could cultivate seasoned food materials and various medicinal herbs in the forest area. By ensuring 2 additional months of food security, the regenerated forests have given enough reasons for the villagers to smile. The foothill of Similipal Biosphere Reserve supports a rain-fed agricultural economy. Initially, less than 20% of the lowland was under paddy cultivation, primarily because of poor soil fertility, low soil depth and lack of any water conservation measures. With a view to promote sustainable agricultural practices in wastelands and uplands, farmers' committees were formed. Some 4 to 5 villagers with adjoining patches of cultivable land were motivated to collectively undertake modern agricultural methods like the 30-40 technology and the 5% farm pond model. Perhaps for the first time in their lives, the remote inhabitants around the reserved forest were discovering new avenues to ensure a comfortable living. As part of the intervention strategy, the members of the Farmers' Committee were made self-reliant through various training sessions on all aspects of land and water management practices and alternate technologies. As a measure to conserve water, the numerous monsoon streams running through the hilly terrain were regulated and channelized to form check dams at various locations. In the past few years, over 100 acres of wasteland have been brought under productive agriculture, benefiting around 80 families in the region.
गात करी करी आमे वर्षा पानी टाकू सेठी रखवा पाए गात कले गातरू पानी से वर्षा जेते बड़े नहीं पानी सुखी गला से गातरू पानी जमी रे देले चाष आमर अधिका अमल हैला से पानी मोड़े चाष आउ खेती हैला नहीं अधिका अमल प्रत्येक वर्ष आमे पाइले.
It was heartening to see that the transition of the barren lands to productive agricultural fields had gradually started transforming the mindset of the villagers. At the last count, 12 farmers groups in 8 villages stood in testimony to the success of the collective effort, and the number is increasing by the day. As for the ecologically vulnerable uplands, poor soil fertility and low soil depth have made it unsuitable for paddy or any other kharif crop. The search for a sustainable and remunerative crop concluded on the sabai grass, a drought-resistant, non-perishable crop that can withstand dry spell of over 4 months. With virtually no maintenance cost, sabai has grown into one of the most preferred crops in the region. In sabai grass, the tribes of the region have finally found an alternate source of income, the sabai rope making. As part of the collective effort, SHGs were formed to unify and strengthen the indigenous inhabitants, particularly the women. Encouraging as it is, the 13 women SHGs in the area were linked to the existing government programs such as the Swarna Jayanti Swarozgar Yojana.
उन्नीस मसीह आम संघ गठन होता है सरकारी थ्रू भी आमको 3.5 लाख टंका मिली प्रभाव भी आमको बहुत अनुदान देपर आमर खलीपत्र चाउल कंट्रोल दुकान एमती भी आम व्यवसाय चली लोक मान लोन फोन भी दि चलती.
With the formation of various women's small savings and self-help groups, women have become active participants in decision-making process of the forest-based economy. They now enjoyed not just greater accessibility to forest resources, but also have a greater control over the money earned by them. The increased income level have assured for a comfortable living, and with increased awareness, people are looking more carefully at issues like health and education. Instead of witch doctors, villagers now prefer to visit hospitals and health centers. And as more and more children have started attending to schools, the villagers certainly have a promising future to look forward to. To witness the impact of another such collective effort between IGSSS and its partner organization, we travelled to the remote villages of Gadiazor and Tilkamal in the drought-prone district of Bolangir in Orissa. Interestingly, we observed that the majority of the problems in the area were similar to those in the Mayurbanj district. However, the situation here was further aggravated by the recurring drought and loss of the traditional drought-resistant varieties of paddy. The Regional Centre for Development Cooperation, RCDC, an IGSSS partner, has been active in the region since 1993 in the area of community-based natural resource management.
We adopted organizing the farmers in the area in farmers committees and trained them in a proper land and water management skills, and basically we adopted their traditional knowledge only into this training, and we created seed banks with them. Traditional seeds are preserved which are drought resistant, and we also organized women and other community groups, various varieties of community groups like the forest protection committees, like youth clubs and others, and trained them on understanding about the drought and managing the drought.
Situated under Dangbahal Gram Panchayat in Patnagar block is the tiny village of Gadiazor, consisting of 46 households and a population of 115. 3/4 of which belong to scheduled castes and tribes. The village that now shelters one of the largest protected areas in the district, the Mahadasani Reserve Forest and numerous other small reserve forests, has a long history in forest conservation. Way back in the late 70s, villagers of Gadiazor had taken up the task of protecting the rapidly depleting forest cover with the initiative of Bhubaneswar Thakur, who had volunteered to single-handedly guard a forest patch of around 900 acres. After 10 years of individual protection, in 1996 when a formal forest protection committee was formed, he finally handed over the responsibility to the villagers. Gadiazor was soon to become a motivational force in the region. Passing through one of the village forests, we were about to see one of the most promising sights, a women's forest protection committee on the move. Patrolling through the dense forest, these women were assertively defying all conventions.
आउ तमे काली काना पर चोर धरतलो
हां चारटा चोर धरि छु
काना करतले
से माने केनु गचर मोइन के काटी काटी करी बिक्री करू छन
केन गार
सकरी पे
रो तो केनदा गेली धरला तांगो
ताकू अगलो कहले आंग पिला मन के पठा देनु मारमु पुजमु बोली करी कहले
फरेस्टर के आनी करी धरे देलु आ धरी करी गात नै करी रखलु सकालु 12 बजे नु नेलु जे पूरा 5 बजे पठे देलु लरमा नु पन्ना पठे जा है।
With the intervention of IGSSS and RCDC, forest protection activities further gained momentum and numerous surrounding villages started conserving their forests. The figures are quite encouraging. In Dangbahal and 2 adjoining panchayats, Tamia and Fatamunda, 24 out of 30 villages are into forest protection, having so far regenerated over 4,636 acres of dense forest cover. Consequently, the poor inhabitants in the area now get their livelihood support for 5 to 6 months by way of selling non-timber forest produces. As a step further, the forest protecting villages came forward to form the Forest Committee Networks, a platform for addressing and finding solutions to various other problems inflicting the area. And thus came into being the Anchalik Vikas Parishad in the Guruvilla cluster and the Basudha Vikas Samiti in Patnagar block. In one of its moves, Basudha Vikas Samiti mobilized Tendu leaf pluckers to pressurize the forest department for fair and timely payment of wages. As a result, the Forest Committee Network is now monitoring the entire Tendu leaf operation of the state government in the area.
घेरो कला परे 10 दिन और देले तार परे आर किछि 4 दिन रोचे नहीं मिलबा आर थोरे घेरो कले घेरो कर सब पैसा मिलबा संपूर्ण भावे मिली पारबा बोली हमर आलोचना चली छी।
The efforts have certainly made the villagers conscious of the forest laws, policies and their rights. Nonetheless, a more proactive approach is imperative to improve the socio-economic condition of the villages.
1995 मसीह आम 3टा पंचायत के लेकरी आम बसुधा विकास संगठन तैयारी कलु आरसीडीसी सहायत आरसीडीसी कर्मकर्ता उद्बोध 3टा पंचायत के लेकरी 3टा पंचायत जंगल कमिटी मान को लेकर आम प्रथम आम बसुधा विकास तैयारी कलु एवं जंगल कमिटी संगे आम माँ मान को लेकरी एवं चाषी मान को लेकर विभिन्न प्रकार तालीम आरसीडीसी सहायत कर आसुचु आउ से सहायत आम माँ मान को केमती आगे बढ़ी पारे तार उपरे।
The frequent crop failure in this drought-prone region needed urgent attention. To combat the situation, Basudha Vikas Samiti promoted the land development work in the uplands of the village and extended its technical support in contour bunding, mixed cropping and soil and water conservation measures. BVS made sure that the villagers are made self-reliant in developing and managing land and water resources. Soon over 80 acres of upland was brought under productive cultivation, leading to a 3-fold rise in the rice production. Among the most commendable initiatives taken up by RCDC in the region was the promotion of the drought-resistant traditional varieties of paddy. Visiting one of the 13 seed banks in the area, we were told that the rare traditional varieties can withstand dry climatic conditions and more importantly, they grow to harvestable limit in just over 2 months.
हमके आरसीडीसी आइया मैंने आसिक 4000 टंका दिली 2002 साल रे आउ 20 मेम्बर रखली 20 मेम्बर भितर आम 50-50 टका रखलु और देसी धान की आम मंजी पांठी गुटी कलु मंजी पाठी ठीक बुना बेलके नौ और अमल कर सारे फैन आनिक जमा करूँ इंटा करी 5 वर्ष है ठीक हिसाब से मंजी पांठी चलुची।
Another encouraging development we saw in Gadiazur was the water reservoir. Constructed over a period of 35 years through community participation, the reservoir stands as a lifeline to the villagers. To ascertain round-the-year availability of water for irrigation, the villagers of Gadiazur dug out a 200-meter-long canal along the ridgeline to take the water to the nearby villages. IGSSS bore half of the cost for this endeavour. The rest came through the voluntary participation of the people. For our next stop, we sailed across a river to arrive at Tilkamal village of the Guruvilla block. In 1997, motivated by the organization, some 18 women from the village took up collective trading of NTFP, thereby forming a self-help group, the Nari Bikas Mahila Samiti. Besides collection and trading of minor forest produce, the group now operates a modest rice processing plant. Over the years, the group has earned a total gross profit of over Rs 38,000, subsequently leading to the formation of 79 SHGs in Patnagar block and 26 other in Guruvilla cluster. The SHGs have been linked with banks and various development programs like SGSY and DRTA that has helped them to expand their enterprise.
जंगल सब बेला तो कोई बिली जाऊला आनुनु गुथुनु आर बिकुनु जे 1.5 टंका 2 टंका 1.5 2 टंका कि टंकाटे गले दौनु इहादे आसीडीसी ग्रुप कलागे 4 टंका दौछु इहादे फिर एसएजी गिनुछन एसएजी के फिर दौछु 4 टंका.
Needless to say, the villagers, in particular the women, are increasingly becoming conscious of their rights and the market forces. As we were moving out of the village, we realized that the villagers are left with no reason to migrate. Food security in the area has been considerably increased. Still, for the villagers, it is miles to go before they can call it a day. As our last destination, we arrived at the East Singhbhum district of Potka block in the adjoining state of Jharkhand. Home to the forest-dwelling distinctive tribes of Bhumjis, Santhal, Orao and Hos, the district has a legal self-rule system in place since 1997. By effect, the natural resources in the area including lakes and ponds, minerals and forests come under the purview of the Gram Sabha. This implies that no activity that concerns the resources can be carried out without the prior permission of the Gram Sabha. The multitude of problems in the area could not have been resolved without the support of Gram Sabha. And for effective implementation of the development programs, the Gram Sabha could not have done without the active participation of the people. That is, we were about to witness yet another treatment to the same array of problems. To strengthen the Gram Sabha and promote sustainable natural resource management, IGSSS collaborated with Paryavaran Chetna Kendra, a non-governmental organization that played a crucial role in establishing the Panchayati Raj system in the area.
लोगों ने इसको एक्सेप्ट किया.
ये पत्थल गाड़ी बोलते हैं. पत्थल गाड़ी.
पर्यावरण चेतना केंद्र पिछले 4-5 वर्षों में IGSS के सहयोग से यहाँ पर जो समस्याएं उत्पन्न है, खास करके जंगल, जमीन और पानी के ऊपर में, और ग्राम सभा को सशक्त संगठन बनाने का काम, उसके साथ महिलाओं का नेतृत्व विकास और उनका आर्थिक उपार्जन का काम कैसे हो, इस दिशा में लगातार काम कर रहे हैं.
Through its various advocacy activities, Paryavaran Chetna Kendra made consistent efforts to raise awareness of the villagers about self-rule and the Gram Sabha. In the years to follow, the organization served as a vital link between the villagers and the various government schemes like the Indira Awas Yojana. Gradually, the villagers, especially women, started participating actively in various development activities. We travelled to the village of Mijogura, located in a drought-prone region, to witness the efforts being made there. The tribals in the area barely managed to arrange for food for 4 to 5 months, by cultivating marginal lands. For the rest of the year, they depend on the forest resources for sustenance. Taking this into account, IGSSS formulated strategies to resolve the issues.
IGSS is supporting Paryavaran Chetna Kendra in this Potka block. Initially, the focus of the support was regeneration and conservation of forest, harvesting surface water. Gradually, the community-based management, sustainable livelihood, entitlement activities, Gram Sabha has been integrated. And currently, the networking process is being widened with like-minded other organizations in a larger geographical area in order to have a meaningful intervention.
The tribal communities were increasingly becoming conscious of their natural resources, guarding them against exploitation by the market forces. In one such case, the Gram Sabha in Kanchanveer protested against illegal issue of mining leases by the mining department in the region. Attempts were made to cast off the protest. The villagers, nevertheless, appealed to the district commissioner and managed to revoke the illegal leases and issue fresh ones. This, however, was not the only case of its kind in the region.
जब ग्राम सभा हम लोग गठन किए तब से हम लोग नियमित रूप से इस बालूघाट का उपयोग करने लगे। तो बीच में माइनिंग विभाग के लोग आए और यहाँ तहसीलने लगे। तो हम लोग को पहले पता नहीं था कि यहाँ माइनिंग विभाग के लोग तहसील रहे थे। तो एक दिन ग्राम सभा के लोगों ने तहसीलते समय उसको पकड़ाए और पकड़ने के बाद हम लोग उसका विरोध किए। वो हम लोग को धमकी दिया। तो इसमें हम लोग फिर ग्राम सभा में बैठ करके निर्णय किए, बालूघाट है हमारा अधिकार है, और उसी आंदोलन से ही हम लोग जीते और अभी तक हम लोग का इस बालूघाट का हकदार अभी भी हम लोग का है।
The forest-dependent communities in Mijagora showed resilience in yet another critical issue inflicting the area, the rapidly depleting forest cover. For lack of any vigilance system, the verdant expanses of the region were indiscriminately wiped out for commercial purposes. This adversely affected the groundwater level and the stream water. The situation went out of control in 1980 when a severe drought devastated all the natural resources in the region. It was during this time the villagers from the Potka block came forward against the government forest policy and started conserving the forest on their own. And thus, the first Forest Protection Committee of the region came into being. Presently, some 42 FPCs are active in Potka block, and they have helped regenerate over 2,300 acres of forests. Lately, with the cooperation of IGSSS, Paryavaran Chetna Kendra integrated the 42 FPCs to form a central forest committee that looks into planning, implementation, monitoring and evaluation of the protected areas and the regeneration. Accessibility to the forest resources has opened a new avenue to the villagers, development of micro-enterprises as livelihood means. Some 25 SHGs are presently operational in 32 tribal hamlets of the Potka block. The various activities taken up include making of sal leaf plates, mats, brooms, besides selling of seasonal fruits and mawa, and surprisingly, education. The SHG women members in Mijagora are supporting the non-formal education center by providing Rs 200 per month to the instructor for the education of school dropouts and illiterate women. In the past few years, numerous watershed structures and canals have come up in the area, making it possible for the villagers to get 2 crops from the once uncultivated barren land. Food availability has thus been ensured for another 2 months. To supplement the daily food requirement, agro-practices like horticulture and kitchen farming are increasingly becoming popular in the area. As forests are regenerating, plantation in 160 acres of deforested land is being carried out in the region. Our journey through the eastern region was a revelation to us. The villages have been transformed beyond recognition, and it was quite visible wherever we went. The increased income level has assured not just round-the-year food availability to tribal communities, but education to children and better health practices because of increased awareness. We could sense a growing confidence among the people in their ability to bring about a change. Eco-degradation has certainly been checked and food insecurity substantially reduced. But the most important development has been coming together of people for a common cause. For IGSSS and its partner organizations, the journey is not yet over, and the efforts are on to carry the movement to far corners of India.